Many see the situation with Jeff Zucker and Allison Golas as another example of liberal entitlement. But this time there were consequences for actions. Let's bring back our panel to discuss. Carl DeMaio and Stacy Washington. Stacy, I think there's more to come on this. What do you think?
Yeah, but I'm beginning to see a pattern of real misbehavior at this network. And I think that the reason Chris Cuomo can bring the house down with him as he exits is because there are a lot of guilty people there who are not holding each other accountable. I actually write about this in my upcoming book, Eternally Cancel Proof, how guilty people don't hold other guilty people to account. So if I'm doing something wrong at work and you come to me and say, Stacy, I know what you're doing and I know you're doing something wrong, I'm going to say, yeah, and so are you. So keep your mouth shut and stay out of my business. And that's what's been happening at CNN over the years. And now that Cuomo's on his way out and he's decided no one stands if I don't stand, we're going to see more of this. I think there's more to come.
Carl, what do you think?
Oh, I'm enjoying this. And I think the American people hopefully are going to take note. CNN, corrupt, swampy, hypocritical, smug, and basically these are the most rotten people. And now we're seeing the rot at what was once a very good network that in the 1990s and the 80s, people would tune into CNN for breaking news. Not anymore. It's nothing but a left-wing, woke, narrative-driving enterprise, and they've destroyed themselves. And it is so satisfying for me to watch this play out, and I hope the American people are watching closely as well.
Okay, let's shift the attention to something. We've got the Super Bowl coming up, but we already saw this, was it last weekend at the football game? California lawmakers appearing maskless, which, by the way, makes complete sense, except they're not supposed to be maskless at last weekend's NFC Championship game. And listen to what LA Mayor Eric Garcetti said as an explanation.
I think we should focus on what's real. I wore my mask the entire game, and when people ask for a photograph, I hold my breath and I put it here and people could see that. There's a 0% chance of infection from that.
So, Carl, he didn't inhale.
You can't make this crap up. They are so untethered from reality, from science. They've doubled, tripled, and quadrupled down on vaccine mandates and mask mandates that have no scientific basis, that have not been working. They've hurt people in the process. I mean, look at what's happened to our kids in California, where they've lost 18 months of schooling. The academic scores are the worst that they've ever been in the history of the state, and we really have bad schools to begin with. And then, of course, take a look at all the first responders, healthcare workers that were chased out of employment with a vaccine mandate, only weakening our ability to provide for safety and public health. This is an epic failure. And now we find out that there's the double standard and hypocrisy. So, look, he'll come out with his explanations.
There's gambling going on in the back of the room.
Yeah, all right. So here's another one for you guys. The View's host, Whoopi Goldberg, who said the Holocaust is not about race. So she's reportedly furious about being suspended by ABC. Not only is she mad, but her co-hosts are also angry. Stacy, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, she's going to talk a good game about quitting, and I don't think she will. I mean, she has one of the easiest jobs in television. They don't even research their topics. They just grab a headline and then open their mouths, and whatever comes out, comes out. And if you disagree with them, then they yell, and Whoopi will, like, bang the table into the ground and call you a racist. So, I loved her when she was the singing nun, and I really appreciated her as Guinan on, Star Trek: The Next Generation. But if she leaves, it will not be a detriment to television today in America, because she spreads more information than Joe Rogan has podcast listeners, and that's saying something. Yeah. So what's the other thing that's going to happen is people are really shocked by what she said and her tone deafness and her doubling down on it on Colbert. They're really shocked by her not understanding that Jewish people are indeed an ethnicity, and that she lacks that understanding in her own last name. Her adopted last name is Goldberg. So
Yeah, and I gotta say, didn't take you for a fellow Trekkie, but Next Generation, I'm a fan.
I'm a nerd. I will bring.
I'm right there with you, Stacy.
I'm with you.
I'm right with you. Stacy Washington, Carl DeMaio, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to take a look at social media when we come back.